yeah, kudos. You guys have really delivered fantastic piece of kit already, and that's just 0.4. Assetto Corsa EVO 0.4 is here, and this is something that many sim and car and also Nürburgring enthusiasts have been looking forward to, because the 0.4 adds new cars, new functionality updates, but more importantly, the Nürburgring Nordschleife to Assetto Corsa EVO. Now, the free roam will come later next year, but this is already something that I'm extremely excited about and will be focusing on today to see how it stacks up against the real version. But first, I need a steering wheel. By the way, since it's December and holidays are around the corner, quick reminder that we have Nürburgring license merch, from sweaters with Nürburgring logo on it in different colors and also different materials, including merino wool, Nürburgring guides that I have helped to co-write, full of all interesting, exciting information, how to drive the Nürburgring, also socks, and as of now, also calendars that have something special inside them. The 2026 calendars, the first 200 will be personally signed by me, but let's make it even more interesting, especially since we're approaching 2 million subs. Some of them will feature extra prizes, such as this one will get a taxi lap. So if you get this one in your mailbox and you find this, then you can have a taxi lap with me in the GT3 or in the Mustang or in one of the race cars. You can have a merch package, and the coolest one, I would say, and there's going to be some other hidden prizes, but let's call it Carmrad VIP. This one, the lucky one, you get a full trip to the Nürburgring from any part of the world to here to come have the hotel, have VIP experience in the lounge, taxi lap, laps driven by yourself. So I think that's a proper one. And yeah, we're gonna just put this between all the other ones, and I would say good luck. Now, that is something I would want to win myself. And to make it extra interesting for you, enter code Misha Xmas25 and you get additional 10% discount on all of these items. And now, let's go take that steering wheel. The actual steering wheel from the GT4 and, in this case, also GT3. Now, to make this steering wheel fit, I had to get the mandatory Fanatec gear, and I went with the DD Plus direct drive, and actually I changed the pedals as well to see how the Fanatec gear stacks up, and also whether the normal traditional pedals, because in the past I had 2 active pedals, to see if this would be also good enough to give you my impressions about. So looking forward to see how it goes on a, let's say, more affordable setup. Now, another final disclaimer I want to mention is when I've done my review of Assetto Corsa Rally, there were quite some comments saying like, Misha, should you not flag this as a paid advertisement? It was not paid. I was actually very late with releasing the review because I paid for the game and gave you my opinion. So, what you need to know is that I am closer than an average reviewer to Kunos people, the people behind Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa EVO. And in the past, I gave some opinion or consulting when it comes to Assetto Corsa Competizione, when it comes to their Nordschleife features, but I have not been involved in this, in Assetto Corsa's EVO Nordschleife version. A couple things here and there when it comes to open world maybe, but not to this. So, I know them, I like the title, but I've never played EVO in its current release, and more importantly, I will be extra critical to make sure to find something negative to find about the game that can be improved on to satisfy the overall opinion. But no one has paid anything. If anything, the only brand deal in this video is myself, so get some merch, calendars, sweaters, you name it. And yeah, all right, let's have a look at it. As mentioned, I have launched the game like last year when it came out at the 0.1, but since it had no Nordschleife, I honestly could not care about because I don't have much time. And the only reasons I'm using Sims is to actually practice for the real thing on the Nürburgring. So, and for people who are tuning in the very first time, quick background story. I'm driving the Nürburgring on a daily basis, on average between 400 to 500 cars a year, over 1,000 laps a year. So I know a thing or two, good and bad. So yeah, anyway, let's go straight to the point. All kinds of various cars are to be added, but again, in today's video, we're gonna focus mostly on the Notchschleife realism. What is a big thing is that they have a F40 with a 0.4 update. And that's something, ooh, actually, 296 I would like to try out later maybe. Anyway, we go drive, we do single player, we choose Nürburgring Nordschleife, various other tracks are available, but we go for Nordschleife. We have 24-hour layout, we have GP, we have Nordschleife, we have Touristenfahrten. Should we do TF to see how it looks like from the TF car park? Yeah, absolutely. GT3 with TF, let's do it. Very much looking forward to see this. I have very high hopes. I hope I'm allowed to say this. The very first version of EVO, I drove actually beginning of last year of the Nordschleife. And my first thing I told them, Foxhole curb is too low. Because of course back then it was based on the version from the last year. So let's see if this version actually stacks up to the today's version of the Nordschleife. All right, let's get going. First impression. Okay, the steering wheel, everything is connected, everything is working. Ooh, that's actually a very realistic representation of the Nürburgring car park that has been resurfaced this year. So the parking lot already represents the 2025 version, which is very good. I wonder if you can actually host some like car meets, meet and greets, you name it, in the car park later when the open world becomes available. Should we check out the taxi car park? Oh, over the curb. It doesn't show. All right, so my first point of critique, it does not show the actual taxi companies in the taxi pavilion. Could have various reasons, but it's not there. So, all right, let's proceed to the actual TF lap. Gonna switch off the TC to like 2. That's what we usually drive in our, or used to drive in the GT4. The turning radius is not ideal. All right, there's actually a person standing. That's cool. The Marshalls, yeah. The Fujitsu advertisement is all identical to the real. Can we hit the cone? Oh yeah, the cones are hittable. There's actual this like the speed bump that's also there in the real world. All right, let's proceed. Everything looks very close to the real thing. We see also the cameras, the AI system, the tarmac. Let me just double check if I can escape. Yeah. Let me go through the settings just to make sure that everything is set on super high before I start complaining. All right, well, everything seems to be still okay. The tarmac level, okay, this is all similar. I'm not 100% like sure about the texture level of the tarmac, but so far the level of detail of the track overall, the small features are really good. We have the solar panels on T13 grandstand. We have here the traffic light, even the grass. Give some green help. That's not real. I don't know why it's there. But the grass levels, the stairs from the gates is all like in the real, on the real track. So the level of detail is really, really good. I see a tarmac split. We have a 2-kilometer sign. Let's proceed to the right. I'm looking. Oh, wow. So let me just be very nitpicky. Let me show you something. All right, so fast forward. Look at this. We have all the gates, but we have also the blue sign on the fence that says, watch out, if there's a coolant spill, make sure you will not contaminate water. So the level of track detail is really insane. We see also the fencing for the spectators on the right, the bathrooms, the traffic signs, the marshal posts. extra bathrooms, so I guess this is sort of like a 24-hour layout with all the spectators. That is very nice. Do we have the curb here on the right? We do. Many of the current games are missing this curb. The tire wall is there on the left. We have here additional curb. Very good. Oh wow, we even see the dirt on the curb here. We see the tarmac transition here, so actually 2 levels of tarmac, which is very good because this is identical to the real one. Then proceeding, see the solar panels, the actual LED signs. This is really impressive so far from what I'm seeing. This is very accurate. The level of tarmac is maybe like not 100% identical. You do not see the scrapes or something that you would actually see in the real world, like the damage on the tarmac or the different patches, so to say, but everything else is really, really good. This is really impressive. Can I go here actually onto the car park? Because here is an emergency car park. It's closed off, unfortunately, but this is the place where marshals would park all the crashed cars, and also in the past there was an actual picnic area. There's a fence on the right, the cloth fence that's also there in the real world. Could we see the cross from Schwedenkreuz from here? That would be absolute next level. It should be somewhere there. Wonder if we can get there with the open world as well, with free roaming. I see the actual fencing. It's hard to see it from this point of view, but all right, let's proceed moving on. What else we'll see? The LED signs are there that have been added this year. This curb on the left is slightly different in the real world. We have, of course, the gravel. Yeah, that's all legit and correct. Xiaomi advertisement. Yeah. Marshal post here. All right, let's check if the foxhole curb has been changed, which is, of course, very important. Should we take it completely? Yep, that is pretty much how it is in real life. In real life it might be even higher, but at least you should not take it in this game. Okay, this curb is, in the real world it's a bit more covered in vegetation, but everything else, left curb, right rumble strips, rebel tree. So here it might be slightly different because the levels of tarmac, you can see it visually that the left side is darker than the right one, but in real world it's a bit even more obvious. So proceeding, left curb, right curb, Cullen Hart sign, 10. The only thing we're missing here is a white dot that is usually marked by the driving schools on the Nürburgring, but everything else, I'm really impressed. So far, we need to make it till the end of the lap, but already this is the most photorealistic version of the Nordschleife you can find on the market. So if you want to learn the track, this is going to be it. Tire wall, we have here more graffiti. The 90 sign on the left is twisted. Maybe it's because of the N24 layout and all the speed limiter signs have been turned away. There's also much more grass, I would say, than in the real world. Orange marking on the wall, on a concrete wall. It's also there in real world. The sound barrier on the left is also identical to the real one. Do we have a small parking here on the right? Yes, we do. But it's missing the tarmac. Like the layer of asphalt towards the parking, I think. We have 125. Do we have 125A? The marshal post. Here is 125. I think it's supposed to be called 125A, but I'm not so sure. All right, let's proceed. I'm gonna kind of fast forward this section. So left rumble strip, another rumble strip, another rumble strip. This is so identical to the real one. Curb that I took on the last lap of the year. Another curb. Another curb. The curb is also correct here. Do we have the exit curb on on Mutkurve? Yes. An identical amount of distance between the curb and the wall. Here the only thing we're missing is the actual visual tarmac transition of this year. But when it comes to the texture, or let's say the profile, it is, oh wow. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show you something really important that I haven't seen in many other games. There is a drain inside the curb, and that drain is often being used also as an apex point by some driving schools. But to see the drain in such a high detail, that's really impressive. That's such a small detail, that's wow. All right, so going into the carousel, it's very bumpy. It's not just flat like some NASCAR oval, it is actually bumpy. So every concrete plate, it is actually as is in real life. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. Fake grass. The only thing missing from now at the low speeds, there was too much grip on it, I think. It needs to be like much less. The curb, quite high, like the real one. Turning in. This is by now, like when it comes to visual representation and already the bumps and jumps that I have felt so far, this is going to be my favorite game ever. The level of dirt as well. The Audi Go graffiti that has been there forever. So the graffitis that have been, so to say, iconic, they're very well represented in the game. Really, really nice. Wow, look at this. We have even proper dirt next to the curb. One day we can go like really nitpicking and maybe do a track walk. Do a track walk and compare the amount of stones of curbs and rumble strips we see in the game. This is actually as wide as the new one, I think. The new one might be a bit wider, the exit curb of Ice Curve. Wow. The fencing, everything, every small detail is really there. Here we have also small curb actually. Not sure if we have grass or is it directly going to the gravel. Kind of forgot that part. Small curb here. Very correct. Do we see, yeah, the fire extinguisher flag? Did I miss something? Let's go back for a bit. Burnout. Yeah, I think one thing missing is next to the marshal post, there should be like a fire extinguisher flag, like a small red flag. Come on. I mean, you asked me to be more critical, so kudos, you have so much work to do to make this so photorealistic. No, really. Those few things that are missing so far. Honestly, the only thing that's really missing, because now I have been, you know, we have gravel here as well. Maybe a bit more gravel. Mini carousel. Every concrete plate you can feel through the steering wheel, through the direct drive base. So that's actually there. Yeah. I think it was a bit. The only thing is, like, for me, it feels like too much vegetation, too much grass compared to. We have here this concrete bit. Too much grass compared to what I've been used to over the last like 3-4 months. But everything else, like, wow. All right, should we give it a proper send? I am. Oh, actually, another thing that we're missing, I think, is the actual new exit. That, yeah, we don't. No, it is there. The exit here, that's the new exit. Wow, it is actually there. And I saw also the ponds. The pit in 60. Okay, well, that sign is obviously not there in the real world, but everything else, wow. All right, I'm going to maybe restart the session just so my tires are warmed up, and let's go do a fast one. But all right, by now the verdict is restart. The verdict is this is like the most realistic, visually, the most realistic version of the Nordschleife that I have experienced of any game. So now let's go a bit more fast and see how it will go and what I think about the small bits that you notice when you go with 200 kilometers per hour. Let's take this barrier now. All right, off we go. Pit limiter. Really? Do I need to switch it up by myself? Oh no. Okay. All right. So off we go. Faster lap of a Nürburgring Nordschleife in Assetto Corsa 0.4 Nordschleife release. The compression felt maybe a bit less crazy than in real life, but the curbing feels nice. The tire model on grip loss is also quite good. We have, of course, level 2 of TC of traction control, but it's really, at least when the car is losing traction, it feels real-ish. There should be a jump from here, not a jump, but a small bump on the left turn. Yep, it's there. Small bump that many games are missing. The muscle memory made me correct like it is in real life. Sorry, like, yeah, it is like in real life. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Okay, this is really, really good. The TC level seems to be also on par with the real car, because it is there, but it allows you to do silly stuff. The feeling through the steering wheel is also very real-like. When we have elevation changes, the force feedback changes that allows you to feel the elevation changes on the front axle. Okay, hard braking through here. I'm really satisfied with the level of small bumps and how it affects the steering and how the car feels. Now, of course, I do not have experience with a proper GT3 car, but on low speed, I can tell you it's identical as a GT4. Should we take the big curb, see what happens? I think the consequences should be a bit more catastrophic in the game to be on par with the real life. But if that's the only thing, you shouldn't be taking it. Alright, so aim for the small white sign, 102 on the right, turning in, left curbstone to the outside, end of the curb on the brake, beginning of the curb turning in, then transitioning to the right curb. Yep, car loses traction just like in real life there if you go too early on the gas. Can we take this one flat with the GT3? Don't take the grass. You can even see the view of Adenau out of here. I guess it's a preparation to the real world, to the open world. Okay, hard braking. Turning in. Car losing traction just like in real life on here on exit. Transition. So the elevation change was really accurate. The only thing, I think the car needs to go a bit harder into the compression. Scrape with the front splitter when you go through Breitscheid compression. But it was already very realistic. I mean, also here, if you make a mistake, it would cost you a lot. Jump. Well, it's a GT3 car, so we don't expect it to jump. But everything else, we're just gonna keep it in 5th gear. Just gentle lift through mud curve in a bit. Lift, turning in, on the gas, flat. Could go much faster, but keep it flat through here. Okay, hard on the brakes. I'm really impressed. Because one thing is to have visual representation, but then to have actual physics of the track compared to real life. Yeah, kudos. You guys have really delivered fantastic piece of kit already, and that's just 0.4. So let's see what the future is going to bring us. Try and brake, modulate with acceleration. Hole 8 might be a bit more violent nowadays, the tarmac transition. Just lift. Downshifted a bit too eager. I think the jump off the curb could be a bit more violent, but then again, I have no experience with a GT3 car, so I'm now just, for the sake of honest review, thinking of like what is not real. There are just a few things. Let up we go, on the gas. Really like how you feel through the steering wheel, all the elevation changes. So that's a great job to Fanatec and Assetto Corsa, because this feels really realistic. Yep, can keep it flat on the GT3 car, of course, through here. Brake. Alrighty. The jump into the carousel, into the mini carousel, could be also a bit more violent. But wow. 630 bridge to gantry. 629, not too bad, not too bad. All right, it's been already quite a long video, so let me finish here. I think we can honestly say that this is the most realistic representation of the Nürburgring Nordschleife that I have experienced in any game. So if you want to spend your winter break preparing to what the Nürburgring, your Nürburgring trip potentially will do to you, this is the version you need to play and study, because it is highly, highly, highly accurate. In addition to that, if I have to really think about something like nitpicking on certain things, the only lacking visual features are certain graffiti and tarmac patches that are missing, the tarmac texture. But it's changing constantly throughout the year, every time when the Nürburgring is resurfacing the patches. So I don't think we should like really blame the developers for doing so. Many of iconic graffiti is there, and maybe the final version of the game will feature the actual photorealistic representation of the Nürburgring tarmac. But most importantly is that the actual physical features of the track are 98% correct. Those 2% is just like the severity of certain compressions, and maybe the curb of Foxo could be even more extreme, but already now it is there and present, unlike pretty much every other simulator I've played so far. This Nordschleife digital version of a simulator, Assetto Corsa EVO, will definitely prepare you to the real thing and will also allow you to become a better driver. So 100%. Is it perfect? I don't know about the gameplay settings. I believe you cannot switch off damage right now, for example, in the current build. So that's something frustrating. If you really want to practice and go over the limit, crashing your car, you need to then reset probably the whole session. But yeah, for me, as the real life Nürburgring driver, race car driver, you name it, this is the thing. And again, I'm actually very happy and satisfied with how just the budget version of Fanatec direct drive and also the pedals performed, because it's actually really good. Yep. So I'm gonna practice some more because this is really nice. And if you like to watch some more videos of me driving the Evo, let me know. But I'm actually leaving to Croatia and Greece for a month now, so you have to wait probably till January, unless I quickly sneak in an E46 M3 CSL drive, maybe before I leave. All right, good job, Kunos. Just a couple more things, maybe, and already now, fantastic. So yeah, enjoy, guys, playing yourself, and let me know if you can find some things that are not real like in real life.